Welcome to Game Devs Play Games, where you can watch games and practice game design, and I'm pretty sure you may have seen this one on the show before, but now it's my turn to send myself straight through hell with a hammer. All right, here we go. Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy.
I mean, is it really a hammer, though? Realistically, it might be a climbing pick.
It could be a climbing pick, but let's be honest.
You usually use that with, like, ice climbing.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Already going the wrong way. Woo! Oh.
I mean, like, you can die. But that's the wrong choice.
I know.
So we played this on the show a little while back, and this was between Ryan and Nathan. And, you know, they didn't get very far. They called him a mermaid or merman. Mermaid.
I remember that discussion.
Yeah. So we're going to have a bit of another whirl at it. And Eddie has decided that this is how he wants to wind down after finishing Okami. So we'll see him lose his shit. But I think this game is fantastic.
This game is fantastic.
Anyone that watched our Extra Life stream, I played this and got pretty far, maybe about halfway through, give or take. The game gets pretty ridiculously difficult, but it has a good flow of difficulty. Have you ever played this before?
No, but I've seen a lot of playthroughs.
Okay, so you're learning the feel for the first time.
Yeah.
But you've probably learned some techniques from other people. Because this is one of those ones where you can watch and kind of figure out how some people approach it.
Yeah.
I love this tree obstacle because it's like
it's great.
It's literally the gateway. Well, maybe not literally, but it functions as the gateway of like, if you can't get past this, you cannot do anything in this game.
Yeah.
And it teaches you how you have to be very conscious about where your hammer is or climbing pick is placed.
Yep.
Maybe it is a hammer. I'm not really sure.
It's both. It's got a climbing pick on one side and a hammer on the other.
Well, if you look at it on the title screen, it looks a lot more like an axe.
I think I'm actually stuck.
You're not stuck.
Okay.
You just gotta get good.
Gotta do better, more better.
Gotta do better, mo better.
On the title screen, you think it looks like an axe?
It kind of does. I mean, it almost looks like it has a blade in it, like it's almost meant to dig into the rock.
Gotcha. Oh.
See, there you go. You did better, mo better. Don't go back down there. What's with you?
Hold on. I got this.
Do you? I'm not convinced yet. We're in this for the long run. You know, here's my pledge. If in 12 more minutes, if Eddie doesn't get past this tree, episode 4 will be me playing this. There you go, buddy. That's using your noggin. You didn't use your noggin very well, but you know, I give you credit for trying. You get the trophy award. So, what is it, do you think, that makes a game like this compelling? Do you think...
Oh, that would have been it. I could have gotten over with that.
That would have been it.
Ah.
But you fucked up. Do you think that it's the idea that the game is challenging you? That it's like, hey, I don't think you can beat this?
Yes. It's definitely that. It's definitely just like how hard it is and how... Honestly, the narration is something that I really enjoy about it, and how calm he is.
Well, yeah.
And the little things that he just says to you, you know?
That's the thing about a lot of the Let's Plays I've seen of this game is people get so angry at the narrator.
Really?
I don't understand it. I actually find the narration really enjoyable and in some senses soothing.
Yeah.
And Bennett Foddy, the developer of this game, he talked about that and how originally the game, the narration was planned to be a lot more
find a safe place to stop.
To prod at the player, make fun of them, and kind of aggravate them intentionally.
Yeah.
And what he found out was that people didn't respond very well to it, and instead of challenging the narrator, being like, "Well, screw you, I can do this," even if you're making fun of me, people sort of had that opposite reaction of like, "Well, I just don't want to play the game anymore."
Yeah. I understand why I understand why people could get mad at the narrator a little bit.
The author
I
of
mean, I
Jesuit,
could see how people might
mysterious
find it
businessman who was known at the time as the
patronizing?
father of B games.
Yes, yeah,
games
that's
were
what.
rough
That's sorry. That's
assemblages
what I was
of
thinking
found
of, but I'm also
objects.
trying to get over this.
Designers slapped them together very quickly and freely.
See,
And
you're
they're
already
often too
doing
rough
better
and
than Nathan and
unfriendly to gain
Ryan.
much of a
Yeah.
following. They're
It
built
took 'em
more for
like
the
a full
joy of
episode to
building
get this far.
than as polished products.
It's just about patience,
certain
and that's
way,
literally what the
sexy
narrator
hiking
is
is the
telling
perfect
you.
embodiment.
Well, and that's what I love about it. It's
built
like,
almost
it's all
entirely
about
out of
patience,
bounds
but
in
no
its
matter how
size.
patient you are,
And
you
it's
can
one of the
still
most
fuck up.
unusual
Oh,
and
yeah.
unfriendly games of its time.
And even with that, there
Your
are
task is
some
simply to
points
drag
where
yourself
being
up and down
patient
with a
will
hammer.
be detrimental.
That act
Yeah.
of climbing
I also
makes
think
your
this.
world
I think
more
this game is
alive
wonderful
with
because
certain
it's like
essential properties that give the game its flavor.
it's like a perfect speed
No
run
amount of
game.
forward progress
Oh yeah,
is
speed
guaranteed.
run. I think
It's
the current.
perfect speed run game.
I think the
honestly.
current record
And the
is like
player
a minute and a half.
constantly,
Yes.
I've
unremittingly
watched a
in
speed
danger
run of it,
falling
and it's
into
pretty amazing. I still don't know what the actual end is because there's a disclaimer at the very end of the game that says, "Hey, if you're a streamer or a let's player, please don't show this."
Yeah, there is someone
and
who
that's-
showed it. I saw it. It's just kind of nice. It's cool.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
I'm not gonna.
I legitimately want to experience that for myself.
There's no reason to spoil it.
And if we get to that point, which I seriously doubt we will, we won't spoil that either. But
Just easy, Edward. Nope.
so like the first part of the level design, the tree and even that sort of empty canyon where you have to like find a way to push yourself up to get that initial latch.
Yeah, that paddle, by the way, down there in that canyon, is the game. Is like that and the tree. All these obstacles are just like the antagonists of this fucking game.
Well, yeah, but the
It's
whole
great.
point of the level design of those, I think, is to kind of teach you how to actually maneuver.
Yeah.
One thing that a lot of players, when they first start playing this game, is they don't realize that the hammer or the axe or whatever it is has kind of a full range of like, it's not just always out 100%. You
Yeah.
can kind of pull it in.
Yeah, you can pull yourself in. It's just here we go. Okay, here.
And while I don't think that it's those first parts of the level design are spectacular at teaching the player that they have more control than they might realize, it's a good stepping stone in sort of encouraging them, or at least giving them the opportunity to find that out.
Right. Oh,
But
no,
I
no, no,
think
no.
that
this way.
this game gets a lot easier if you kind of understand how to use the hammer.
right.
And so it makes sense, I think, at that point to teach more of the core mechanics before we get into some of the crazy physics of the game.
Yes.
Because like the part that immediately follows are those steep slopes without much like easy stuff to grab. And that's the second core thing that the player has to learn is, how do you climb a slope when there isn't anything really easy to grab onto? And it sort of provides you two answers. One is build momentum, so you can just supersede it.
Yes.
The other is just climb carefully.
Yeah.
If you're slow enough, you can actually climb up a lot of those slopes without sliding back down.
Like how I just did right here. I was gonna last time I got up here, a second ago, I flailed to get to this. Didn't flail this time.
This one's tricky.
I've also completely forgotten how it moves. That will happen.
Yeah, this is one of those ones that I don't totally remember how to get across. It might be one of those ones where you just have to build up a lot of momentum and just like...
Anyway, when you start sexy hiking, you're standing next to this
that
dead
was pretty
tree
close,
that
though.
blocks
Yeah.
the way to the entire rest of the game.
There it is.
That's it. That's the one. All right.
Prod and you poke at it, exploring the limits of your reach and your strength, trying to find
So
a way
hopefully
up and
people
over.
enjoy watching
sense
Eddie
of
and I play
truth
this. We're not
in
going to be
that
as funny
lack of
as
compromise.
Nathan and Ryan,
No.
because those
Most
guys are
obstacles in video
knuckleheads.
Yeah,
games
and I'm
are
actually
fake.
good at this,
You can
so.
be completely
Nathan.
Well, you haven't caught up to
I
where Nathan...
haven't met Ryan, so I'm not saying I'm better than Ryan. I'm just saying I'm
Just
better
by
than
spending
Nathan,
enough time.
just in case.
Well,
that
Ryan
sense,
kind of threw in the
every
towel kind of
pixelated
quick.
obstacle in
What's
sexy
up, Ryan?
hiking is
Shout out to Ryan. Go tweet at...
Oh wait, I did that completely backwards. How stupid of me.
What is he on Twitter? Is he the rugged nerd? That's what he is on Instagram. I'm gonna look that up.
If you need to take a break, it's okay. I've saved your progress.
I wonder if it's. Does it help to like keep the mouse button clicked in for more
mouse button doesn't do
control?
anything.
Just to put force on the mouse, I mean.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. To give myself a feel of actual control. Control that is not really there, Chris.
Well, I don't know what Ryan's Twitter handle is, but if you find him, I think we had his info in the episodes he was on, but you should tweet at him and be like, "Sup, Ryan? We're better at getting over it than you." But be nice about it.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna be a dick. When am I ever a dick, Chris?
Well, I'm talking to them, not you.
Oh.
Or you could tell them Eddie's better at getting over it. That's probably that's probably the slightly more devious way of putting it. Is this the test? Do we just like bring everyone on the show to play getting over it, give them the 15-minute mark and see how far they can get?
Yes. See, all that right there, you got to be careful with yourself because I felt like I had everything right there, but I was going to go way too quick. Okay. Oh, this is nothing. Nope, this is nothing. I don't want it, but I'm going to do it.
Oh, you had it.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Is it okay?
Yes. Because remember, Chris, it's just a game.
What do you think is the point of that coffee mug? Oh, there you go. Careful. Don't swing it. Just pull up and pull in.
Shut up. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look
the
at
point
that.
of that coffee mug is, I think it is a what is it, pop culture reference to the Starbucks thing.
You think that's all it is?
Yep.
I mean, I can see that. I can believe
I'm
that.
so fucked.
Eddie, you had it, man.
Shut up, Chris.
You were doing so well. I believed in you.
Yeah, well, that was your first mistake.
Probably. All right, what's your strat here?
I don't actually know how I did it the first time, Chris.
Fantastic. That part's clever. So as far as the level design goes, what they want you to think is that you can just kind of climb that.
Mm-hmm.
But because when you push off on that second one, that one that goes inward,
Yeah.
your hammer will immediately hit the one above it and kind of toss you back down.
Right.
So it becomes a trap.
Yeah.
That's like an easy way to hurl yourself back down to the bottom floor.
Right. Just like I'm about to do.
Yup.
Oh.
And I think this is really that core spot where they're like, you have to just get the momentum. If you haven't figured that out by now, there you go. Nice. That was a good jump.
Thank you.
I stand corrected. I mean, still was technically.
I mean, it was pretty much what you were talking about. Okay, remember
Yeah,
how it
I
works.
just thought
at
you'd
work.
need
Come
more
on.
than that.
Yeah. All right.
So up more. There you go.
Yeah.
Now push yourself up. You don't got to put the hammer down. You're good there. Just push yourself straight up.
Or
Killing me, man. I mean, that works.
yeah, I didn't know what else I was gonna do.
Don't. That's the other thing. As soon as you start freaking out in this game, you're probably done.
How did I do that?
Science. Oh boy, Eddie, you're in a conundrum. That's a conundrum. This was not anticipated. You're sliding. Oh goodness. I love this art though.
Oh my gosh.
It's got a fun, like, it feels like early 3D art in the environment art, where it's
Yes.
like, it almost feels like pre-rendered 3D,
Mhm.
you know, like
Yeah.
rendered into 2D, and maybe it is for all I know,
Right.
because
Don't.
there's no reason it wouldn't be,
Right.
but I don't know. It's such a like different aesthetic. Oh yeah, there you go.
And that makes the game uniquely frustrating. But I'm not sure Jazuo intended to make a frustrating game. The frustration is just essential to the act of climbing, and it's authentic to the process of building a game about climbing. A funny thing happened to me as I was building this mountain.
You're gonna get
I'd have an
yourself
idea for a new obstacle.
so
and I'd
screwed.
build it, test it, and it would usually turn out to be unreasonably hard. But I couldn't bring myself to make it easier.
So that's your other
I already felt
opportunity
like
to
my
fall back down to
inability
the
get
beginning.
past the new obstacle was my
They-
fault as a
Opportunity.
player rather
Okay.
than as a builder.
Well, I
Opportunity.
mean, that's the
Imaginary
design
realms build
intent,
themselves
right?
when
Like,
enables
Right.
to climb them.
Oh fuck!
And it's
I'm
our
like
repeated attempts to reach
I think
the
your mic
summit
is slowly
that turns
falling.
those
that
mountains
too.
into
Also,
something.
I'm playing with my feet because I'm trying to like act like I have a control over this by like moving my body parts. This is just fucked. Because I'm
Yeah.
like moving my body parts around, just trying to
like the stress kind of like
yeah,
tense.
yeah,
But yeah, the idea there is like you don't have enough height to swing around and grab onto the metal rim, like ledge there.
mm-hmm.
I mean, you could, but it's not as easy.
Right.
So they want you to kind of like pull yourself up to that little nook, you know?
Yeah.
But if you pull too hard, then you throw yourself over the other side and end up back down on the ground floor.
Right.
So good. Plus, like climbing on that little ledge gives you the means of kind of flinging yourself in the right trajectory rather
Right.
than straight up. And since you'll just kind of slide down, that's what I'm talking about. I think the level design in this is like, this is one of the finest levels of good level design in a long time that I've seen.
Right.
But it's like it's so necessary because the game mechanics require that level of intelligent design.
Right.
I'm just gonna.
Nope.
When you're building a video game world,
I
you're
mean,
building with ideas.
Kind of works.
And that can be like working with quickset cement. You mold your ideas into a certain shape that can be played with. And in the process
Yeah,
of
this is
playing with them, they
the
begin to
first point
harden and
while
set
I played this
until
that I
they're
was
immutable,
like,
rock.
I don't know if I can
And at
do
that point,
this.
you can't change the world.
I
Not without
legitimately
breaking
don't
it
know
into
if I have the
pieces, starting
skills
fresh with new ideas.
to pay these
To
bills.
pay these bills.
I don't remember if Nathan got up there though. I don't think he did when he played this on the show. Shout out to Nathan.
Gotta do better. Oh fuck! Fuck! All right.
Feel free to tweet at Sorcerer Nathan and tell him that Eddie is not as good as him. Or as good as him, at least. Because I guess you get to the same point. But I think at least Nathan tried climbing.
What?
Climbing the narrow ridge.
I would love to try climbing it, Chris. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, then,
Just a lot of progress. That's a deep frustration.
I love this game.
Oh my god, this is the best game. I seriously, I'm so glad this exists.
It's such a like great entry in the like
Whoa.
players willing to punish themselves
Fuck.
kind of
Fuck.
genre.
Ah. All right.
Are we calling it for this episode? We're
Well,
2 minutes over. We're 3 minutes over.
I think we should actually. Okay, in that case,
Are we coming back in for another episode though?
do you want to?
Do you want me to give it a spin?
You should probably give it a spin in the next episode.
I'll give it a spin. I'll show.
Did you give it a spin in the other one?
No,
you played
I didn't play it on the show. I streamed it for Extra Life,
Oh, that's right.
which I got pretty far, but you know, not everyone watched the live stream. Although that Extra Live stream went fantastic. Shout out to anyone that watched that. This is a shout out episode.
I mean, you have like a lot of extension on your arms. Like people just need to realize like how much extension you can really do with this.
Right?
And like one of the things that people need to know right away is the fact that you can launch yourself like this.
I mean, that's kind of what they're trying to teach you there.
Yeah.
But anyway, question of the day.
Well, Eddie, stop playing and let Chris have a chance.
What do you think they're trying to do with the level design that we've seen? Like, what are they trying to teach at which points? And I know that's kind of a broad and sort of big question, but pick whichever moments you want to talk about. You don't have to talk about the whole gambit. But there's a lot going on in the level design that's so not in your face and yet does such a good job at teaching the player. And I think that's a really valuable thing to take away from this game.
Yeah.
At least as a designer. But anyway.
Also, side question of the day: how does his arms work?
They defy physics. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Have a good one. Yay!